are looking at the practical of the tungsten inert gas welding. So we are going through the theoretical aspects of this particular practical first. After that, we are going to look at the practical being operated by the person. So first of all, as you can see on this particular slide, tungsten inert gas welding is also known as the TIG welding, which is widely used in the industry as for the many applications. So the aim of this practical is to join the different metal plates together using the tungsten inert gas welding. So we are going to look at the different types of the weld that can be performed using this type of welding that are shown in this figure, where the different two plates can be joined together in horizontally, vertically, as well as from the ceiling point of view, and in the corner joints also. So now we are going to look at the apparatus that are required for performing this practical. So these are the basic TIG tools which is used for the safety point of view of the welder. As you can see, here is the helmet, hand gloves, and the eyeglasses, so that you can perform this practical safely. Other than that, there is also a negative terminal, which is also known as the earthing of the entire setup. Now you are watching at the TIG torch, which will work as the positive terminal of the setup. In this particular torch, there is a tungsten electrode provided inside this torch, which will work as a positive terminal, and electric circuit will be completed at the contact of the welding component. Now you will see another component, which is the control unit or the supply control of the TIG welding. And there is also a requirement of the cylinder, which is providing the inert gas for the shielding of the TIG welding. Now we will see another theoretical point of view, or we can say that the working principle of the tungsten inert gas welding. So the diagram itself indicates that the tungsten electrode will create the spark, and that will provide the necessary heat to melt the metal. But here tungsten is the electrode which is not going to be consumed for the welding. So for that purpose, you are going to need another filler material, which is made up of the another metal, which can be melted to join the different plates, or we can say that to create the weld joint. So the function of the tungsten electrode is to generate the spark and provide the necessary heat, so that the filler material can melt and get between the grooves that we have provided and join two different metal plates. So as you can see in this diagram, there is a tungsten, which is tungsten gas, tungsten electrode, which is represented in the middle over here. Surrounding that, there is a shielding gas provided, which will work as a shield, so that to avoid the oxidation of the welded part. So the tungsten electrode is continuously producing the arcs, which will provide the heat, and here is the filler rod, which will get melted, and the weld will be generated like this. So this is the diagram of the complete weld and the principal features of the TIG welding. So the tungsten is the material which is not being consumed over here. Now you will see another working setup. We can say that the schematic diagram of the TIG welding, where you will see the entire circuit starting with the supply control unit, which is over here, which will provide the current and the controls or the settings that are necessary to provide the currents. Here is the two options, AC and DC. You can supply the current with any one option. Ammeter and voltmeter is also provided over here. You can see that there is a clamp provided, which will be connected to the earthing of the setup, and another one is the TIG torch, which will work as the positive terminal. So it's shielded metal gas is provided through this cylinder. This cylinder will be connected directly using the hose pipe to this supply, and through which the gas will be supplied into this torch to provide the shielding of the arc. Arc here is performing not just providing the heat only, but it is also working as the cleaning on the surface of the welding, so that the different weld material that is coming out of from the filler material can be cleaned on the weld material. So this is how the working of the TIG welding setup is explained. Now we will see the practical of the TIG welding being performed.
Hello students, this is the practical setup of the TIG welding, which is the abbreviation of the tungsten inert gas welding. So you are looking at the basic setup of the generally used tools of the weldings, which are usually the same for all types of the welding, helmet, gloves and all the safety tools. Now we are looking at the control unit of the TIG welding. So the control unit of the TIG welding contains a lot of things like the hose pipe, which is connected as the hose pipe for the argon gas, the electrical terminal and the positive terminal, which is used for the connection of the circuit. Now again we will see another settings of these particular control units which are controlled by these switches. Now the switch is the power on off switch, another one is the AC/DC connection and torch flatter switch. The another knob that you are watching over here is used to increase or decrease the current intensity by changing the ampere, and the ampere intensity is shown in on this dial. So this is the basic control unit, which is also connected with the cylinder which contains the inert gas of our welding. The inert gas is our argon gas, and this argon gas is generally used to avoid the oxidation, and which will work as our inert gas and which will create the shielding to avoid the oxidation while welding. So this will help you to strengthen the welding joint, and also it will help to avoid the different kinds of the welding defects. Now we will see that this argon gas can be seen with the proper pressure through this gauge. So gauges are provided to explain the to mention the pressure which is available in this particular cylinder, and this argon is supplied through our control unit. The argon supply is completely provided in this type of a torch. So this is our TIG torch, where you can see this hose pipe contains the argon gas, and at the end of this torch you will see a nozzle which contains a tungsten electrode. Tungsten electrode is the middle one, which you can see over here by the silver electrode knob. This tungsten electrode is non-consumable electrode. So basically this is a electrode which doesn't consume, which will produce only spark while doing the welding. So because of this spark, the heat will be generated, and we will be able to generate enough heat to melt down this material. So basically this is our filler material which will melt down and create the weld joint. So there is one switch available over here. So as soon as you press this switch, then and then the electricity will pass from the tungsten electrode, and it will create the complete circuit, and you will be able to create the spark, and using this filler material you will be able to create the weld joint. So basic setup of this welding is also similar to other welding setup which we have explained in the previous videos of the practical. Which you can see, the negative terminal is provided over here. Negative terminal is provided over here, which will work as a earthing, and positive is provided in the electrode of the tungsten material, which is provided in this material. As soon as you complete the circuits, you will be able to generate the spark, and using this filler material the complete welding is produced as a final product, which you can see from this like this. The complete welding can be seen like this.